Greetings, Celeste Cuffey here from Life and Power Consulting Services, where our mission is to reach, empower, and motivate others to access and utilize their God given talents and skills, building better families, better companies, better communities worldwide. I am here today to share with you your 15 minutes of living life empowered. I'm so glad you could take time out of your schedule to spend with me today, and I'm excited as I normally am. I know that there's nothing new in that, but I am excited to share this topic with you. And the topic, very simply, is this: it's always something. Have you ever experienced just those days, those weeks, and you begin to feel like it's always something? It's like you hear people say, if it wasn't for bad luck, you wouldn't have luck at all. Or you'd say, if it's not one thing, it's another. Well, we all go through those cycles of feeling like it's always something. So, just a brief explanation of that, or my own personal experience with that. Just recently, I went through a morning of trying to get a few things done. And one of the things that I was doing was working on a PowerPoint presentation. And working on the PowerPoint, for whatever reason, it looks like it's a huge size, and so it keeps backlogging my computer. So what do you have to do? I have to wait for it to catch up with itself, or I have to force shut it down, walk away from it, come back, try again. And it's just all of these additional, in my opinion, time-consuming steps that I have to take to accomplish this, in my mind, very simple task. It's always something. Now, the trick about that situation is this: I recently moved from a PC computer to a Mac computer. I was having some trouble with the PC, same kind of thing, but at a different level. And in order to synchronize all of my devices together, I decided to move into a Mac. The Mac is supposed to be a lot more easy, more succinct. It's supposed to be smoother and all of those great things. But here's the problem: I've used a PC my whole entire life, and so now I'm going to move from using a PC to a Mac in 3 months. And now I'm frustrated because in 3 months' time, I'm still not capable of using the Mac in the same way that I've used the PC. However, I do definitely see the benefits of having the Mac device. Again, always something. So not only was my computer kind of hosed and backlogged and all of that, but I'm still learning how to use Microsoft applications on a Mac product, or on an Apple product. So there is, again, something, trying to do one thing and you get stuck into a rut trying to accomplish another thing. Something else that happened. This was all yesterday. Oh my goodness. The other thing that happened was that I was looking to order some supplies, and the place that I called, great customer service, very friendly. Oh yes, we can get it to you, no problem. Yes, we can order the product for you, no problem. But then it was the shipping that was astronomical. So once I thought I had one issue solved, there was another one popped up. Always something. So I'm sure you get my point now when I talk about, again, when you feel like you can't win for losing, when you feel like there's always something, when you feel like if it wasn't for bad luck, you wouldn't have luck at all of those scenarios. But what I want to do on today is, with all of that, I want us, me included, to change our thoughts. Now, I made it through all of those issues on yesterday, and I made a decision, and this is what we're going to talk about: is how did I handle feeling like it's always something? How did I handle not becoming overwhelmingly discouraged and giving up because I felt like it was always something? Well, this is the first thing that I did. I made a decision. I decided that whatever the thing was, it would not keep me from accomplishing my goal. And here's what happens. I believe this with my whole entire heart, is that we can see the mountains a mile away. And that's not what trips us up. We trip ourselves up. We get tripped up on the pebbles. So before we even get to the mountain, we see the mountain, And we can start thinking ahead. We can start planning on how to handle, how to deal with, how to navigate, how to get around that mountain. But when those unexpected things come up, those pebbles, that's where we get tripped up. And so what happens is that we'll get tripped up just enough with the pebbles that we decide that we don't even want to tackle the mountain. Well, we have to make the decision that when we have a goal in mind, we are going to meet that goal, whatever it takes. So why am I still discouraged? Why am I no longer discouraged, or why am I not discouraged? Please forgive me. Even though I have a mountain and quite possibly several pebbles that I have to endure. Because I've made a decision that my goal is my goal. And what this does is that it stretches me. It stretches you. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to accomplish that goal? What are you willing to do to get there? What are you willing to give up to go up? Those are the questions that you have to begin to ask yourself, because the goal is ahead of you. But how are you going to get there? Why? Because it's always something. What else did I do? I began to not only look at the mountain, but I began to look around for the pebbles. Because the fact that I know that there are pebbles along the way, it heightened my awareness, which enables me to plan ahead for the unexpected. So let me give you another example. If you are building a house, if you are doing renovations, if you're doing anything major with your home, they do something called contingency costs. And what they do is they pull out a specific amount, typically 10 or 15%, or when you're doing projects in corporate America, they'll pull 10 or 15% out and they'll put it to the side, and they call that contingency cost. And that's the just in case something happens, something that we're not aware of, something that we can't account for today in the plan. Just in case that happens, we have something on the side that can help cushion that. So what kind of contingency planning are we doing for our lives? Think of the pebbles as our contingencies. We have to look at, okay, the pebbles are going to be there. What kind of plan can we have when we come across a pebble, when we come across a stone, when we come across even a boulder? How are we going to handle that? And so being aware and looking around for the pebbles helps us understand that they're coming, and that it allows us to prepare for them in advance. So that's the first thing that we want to do. We want to be aware. The second thing that we want to be aware of, not only the pebbles, not only the stones or the boulders, but when you think of climbing a mountain, you have to have a little bit of ruggedness so that you can get your feet in, so that you can grip onto something. So not only do I want you to be aware of the pebbles, but I also want you to be aware of those smooth spots. Because if it's too smooth, you can slip. And we don't want you to slip and fall on your way to your goal. Now, here's the thing though. If you slip, if you trip, you can always get back up and keep going. But the awareness that it's there helps you mitigate that as much as possible. So those are the next things. The other thing that this does, the other thing that keeps me content, the other thing that keeps me encouraged, the other thing that keeps me okay when I am encountering the pebbles, the smooth spots, and even the mountains, is the fact that I am exercising my perseverance. So this is good for me. Just as I was saying it was good for you earlier, it's good for me because now I'm exercising my perseverance. I'm exercising my strength. I'm exercising my maturity. I am growing. I am strengthening my body. When you go to the gym, when you go and you work out, what do? You exercise with things that have resistance, right? And what does the resistance do? The resistance builds you. And so this is all good. And so when we begin to encounter the somethings, there's something to smile about. Because the somethings are coming. But I'll tell you, it is how we handle the somethings that make a difference. The attitude in which we go into dealing with it. The attitude that I can be better as a result of it. The attitude of what have I learned as a result of it. The attitude of I am a better person. I am smarter. I am wiser. And guess what? there's always somebody coming behind me. So now I can help them too along the way. I can say, watch out for that slippery spot. I can say, watch out for those pebbles. I can say, watch out for those stones because they tend to tumble and they may cause some hurt and some harm if you're not aware. I can say, make sure that you have on the right gear so that you can climb the mountain. Make sure you have on the right boots. This may not be the place for heels. You may need to have on some hiking boots so that you can get where you need to go safely. And that's the benefit. That's the beauty of being able to deal with the always something. And here it is. If you don't deal with it, you don't move. So we say that we don't want to be stagnant. We say that we want to grow, that we want to be progressive, but yet we will not move. And just like I moved from a PC to a Mac, that was change. It was progressive change, and I am still learning. And so here's the other lesson. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't always assign a negative or a positive emotion to a thing. It's just a thing. So if it takes you a little bit longer to learn PowerPoint, okay. If it takes you a little bit longer to learn Excel using a new tool, okay. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to have an assignment of negativity or an assignment of positivity. It's just a thing. And so let's try not to assign emotion to everything that we endure or everything that we encounter. It doesn't have to be emotional. So I wanted to just make sure that you knew that while it's always something, understand that always having something is progress. And sometimes we feel like it's not progress because it's always something that we can't move. But the fact is that we are moving. We've gotten from point A to point B. And I'll be honest, I definitely felt like that. And using this whole technology, PC, Mac thing, I know PowerPoint, and I used it like the back of my hand on a PC. But I've been doing that my whole life. So how dare I be hard on myself because I've used this new tool for 3 months. And so it feels like a little bit of relearning, but I'll tell you what it really is. It's growing. It's maturing. It's evolving. And there's nothing but great things that come along with that. So this is Celeste Cuffey here with your Life Empowered Moment. And what do you want me to say? What are we taking away today as your Life Empowered Moment? Here it is. It's always something, and it can always be good. That's just a matter of perspective. So thank you so much for your time. And do not forget, always remember to live life empowered. Take care. Goodbye.